How's it going, guys? Dragon Star Production here, back with another What If video. This one actually being a sequel to a What If that I didn't put a like go on, but you guys actually showed a lot of love too. That being What If Bardock Never Returned, Part 2. And last time in Part 1, we saw Bardock and Leek land on Planet Vampa, where he would actually end up training with Broly and Paragus to gain enough power to defeat Frieza, or at least they thought. That being said, the four would all head to Earth to find the last Saiyan that Bardock was aware of, that being his son, Kakarot. Alright, so part 2 begins inside Bardock's ship, where Bardock, Broly, Leek, and Paragus are all heading towards Earth. The ship slowly starts to land when Bardock sees a familiar sight. A space pod goes crashing by, and this time it wasn't Kakarot, but inside the pod is what appeared to be what looked like an older Raditz. Bardock then immediately lands the ship at a super fast pace, trying to find where Bardock's pod crashed. However, he wasn't so lucky. Bardock landed outside of West City, while Raditz still would land in the same location as he did in canon. Raditz would then search for the highest power level as he catches 4 high power levels. This happened to be his father. So Raditz goes towards the power levels, and when he gets there, he drops down because he is shocked that he sees his father Bardock standing in front of him. Raditz would instantly stumble back seeing his father alive, but Bardock would just be in awe as well. Raditz then asked Bardock how he managed to get so strong, but Bardock ignored Raditz, asking him if he was still working for Frieza after he sees the Scouter. Raditz then explains how he thought of him, Nappa, and Vegeta were the only Saiyan survivors as the asteroids were destroyed back on Planet Vegeta. Bardock tells Raditz to turn off his Scouter, where Raditz then does so. Bardock starts to spill the tea about Frieza being the one that destroyed the Planet Vegeta. This catches Raditz off guard, but before he could actually ask any more questions, Goku and Krillin would arrive on the scene, leaving Gohan back at Kami House. Bardock and Raditz both turn and say, "Kakarot?" Goku states his name is Goku and that he is one of the saviors of Earth, but Bardock informs him that he is a Saiyan warrior and his son. Goku wants to question this, but Krillin does point out that they do look just alike, and that would explain his tale. Raditz then states how he is his brother, and Bardock then drops out a plan of why he came to Earth. It's time to get revenge on Frieza, and since Raditz and Bardock have the same goal here, I don't feel like this would be an issue, at least when it came to them. However, I do feel like this would change and impact the Saiyan saga dramatically. Raditz then gets back on his Scouter, informing Vegeta and Nappa about Earth and how he would need help to conquer the planet. The power levels even surpass Vegeta. This is actually a part of Bardock's plan to lure Vegeta and Nappa both to Earth. That way they have more Saiyans going to actually fight Frieza, which Nappa and Vegeta would be on their way immediately after hearing that there were higher power levels than Vegeta, and should get there no later than a year, at least according to Raditz. However, at this time Goku is actually reluctant. He's not so sure about leaving Earth, but Bardock realizes that quickly that Kakarot is more like his mother than he is him, at least when it comes to his heart, so instead brings up the idea that Frieza will soon come this way in the universe and conquer Earth as well. This would then spark Goku to actually want to fight, and especially because, well, he wants a good fight. But remember how Raditz mentioned Vegeta being alive? Well, yeah, this instantly fueled a fire that has been burned out for quite some time inside of Paragus, who originally thought the king and the prince were both dead. However, that doesn't change the fact that they would all start to train on Earth. In fact, they were causing so much damage to the wastelands that Goku actually recommends that they train on the lookout, basically in the sky around there. Everyone then heads that way, and I would say the training goes well for everyone, even Gohan and Krillin join in on some training. That being said, everyone would have massive games, and everyone would be amazed about the Super Saiyan, who hasn't seen it yet. However, nobody gets Super Saiyan, only Bardock, at least at this time. It is now at the time when Vegeta and Nappa will be arriving, and right when Vegeta and Nappa arrive, they are met by the others. Vegeta and Nappa are both extremely overwhelmed by the power levels that they feel, and they demand to get the same treatment, but Vegeta could get another word off before Paragus starts in straight at Vegeta, who stood no chance in this fight. Even for an old-timer like Paragus, he was wiping the floor with Vegeta. Paragus then knocks Vegeta all around as he starts yelling, "I should kill you!" But before Paragus could actually kill Vegeta, Bardock would one-punch Paragus, knocking him out. Bardock then tells Vegeta and Nappa the goal and why Paragus was flipping out, and how they need to make a plan to make them just as strong as they are, and they would need to work quickly. And I'd say the training only lasts about another year, and I'll go over the power levels before they actually leave for Frieza's planet 779. Alright, starting with Bardock, he would be at 4 million in his base form, as well as Super Saiyan at 200 million. That being said, Broly would be at 5.5 million, his Akari and Wrath state would be at 55 million, Goku is at 1.6 million, Raditz is at 1.4 million, Leek is at 1.7 million, with Vegeta right behind Raditz at a 1.5 million, Nappa at 1.1, Paragus actually at a 920, Gohan at a 750, and Krillin at a 350,000. So, yep. Everyone tips over 1 million besides Krillin, Paragus, and Gohan only doesn't tip over 1 million due to his studies and being worried about being a scholar. But this also would give Bulma time to create a ship, that way they all could travel together to Frieza's planet 779. Sadly though, people like Tien, Piccolo, and Yamcha are getting outclassed here, but this will change later on in the series, so don't worry about them. And with that being said, power levels are covered for the Saiyan group plus Bulma and Krillin, and they all head for Planet 779 after this. This would take a couple months for them to get there, and when they arrive, they waste absolutely no time, and I mean no time at all, going berserk on Frieza's army. This even takes Frieza elites out, including Dodoria, Zarbon, and even the Ginyu Force that couldn't light a candle to the group's power. Hell, just one of these Saiyans could have wrecked the entire Frieza force. This would eventually force Frieza to actually come out and fight for himself. Frieza, who has been watching the entire fight, is now pissed and actually goes straight into his final form as he charges out of his headquarters. But as soon as he does, they sense Frieza's power, and Bardock launches up to his powerful Super Saiyan state and dashes in at Frieza. The two then clash into each other at full power, but Frieza still goes flying. Bardock was too strong as a Super Saiyan, and Bardock dashed at Frieza again, just beating Frieza, making him feel all the pain that the Saiyans had felt. Bardock then has Frieza down on his knees, where Bardock starts to talk to his arch-enemy Frieza, who is more helpless now than ever. Bardock states, "This has been a long time coming. It's actually been too long, Frieza," as Bardock nails Frieza right across the face. "All the pain we felt," as Bardock then knocks Frieza one more time across the jaw. "All the pain that they felt, all the pain that Gide felt, it's now your turn, Frieza!" As then Bardock would stomp Frieza's head into the ground. "This ends now!" Bardock then by himself is enough to finish off Frieza with a full power final spirit cannon. Frieza is evaporated into absolutely nothing. Bardock had completed his goal. He defeated Frieza. However, King Cold was still an issue, so Bardock's goal actually wasn't complete. He still had to find King Cold, who actually wasn't far from the planet, and after hearing that his, son has died, he would be on the way immediately. Bardock and the other Saiyans would wait for King Cold, however, Bardock would fall to the exhaustion and would be put in one of the tanks to heal up. This being said, it leaves all the others having to fight King Cold when he arrives. That being said, I do believe that Vegeta would be the first to try to jump in, but I think that Nappa wouldn't let Vegeta fight alone, so he would jump in as well. So Nappa and Vegeta both are trying to fight and do damage, but this is to no avail. King Cold is still managing to slap the two off. Goku and Raditz then dive head first with a double headbutt, knocking Cold back but not knocking him out. The four Saiyans then gain in for some secrets attack, however King Cold just gets irritated and explodes off while Paragus and Broly shoot in. However, they too are knocked off, even in Broly's Akari form. However, when King Cold gets pissed now, he starts shooting off rapid death beams towards everyone who was fighting. Although some didn't hit, King Cold did manage to hit two people, one being Nappa and the other being Paragus, nailing him right in the heart. This kills both Nappa and Paragus on contact, and just as Paragus falls to the ground, another Saiyan gets lit into a golden aura. And this wasn't Bardock coming back to the fight, it was Broly. Broly, after seeing Paragus die, had officially lost his cool, and he was just starting raving havoc. He has one blast, disintegrated King Cold with one large, super large power ball, but it also hits the planet, and it actually damages the planet straight to its core, meaning that they had a very short amount of time to get off the planet and stop Broly in time to get everyone off safe. Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta all darted in, guns blazing. After talking didn't work to calm down Broly, while Krillin stayed behind shooting off the Destructo disc at least as much as he could. This being said, I don't believe that they would be able to stop Broly from his Super Saiyan rampage. So even though they hated to, they had no choice but to leave Broly on the planet that only had seconds left before exploding. So yes, sadly Broly does get the same fate as his father and dies in this timeline. However, because I rather not end the story on a negative note, I'll add some filler that is actually happening on Earth. Remember how I said Piccolo would come into the story? Well, this is actually where he comes into play. Piccolo actually flies to Goku's house, where he actually wants to train with Gohan. But Piccolo informs him that he's a hybrid and he simply wants to train, nothing more, that this means nothing towards them. Piccolo knew that he had to catch up to Goku somehow, and he knew there was no better way than training with the strongest person on Earth, at least at that time. Piccolo and Gohan would train, and Gohan wouldn't gain too much power from this, since Piccolo would need a lot training, but he would gain a grasp of more solid movesets than he had in canon, because he doesn't have to focus on power. Instead, he's focusing on Piccolo's moves. While Piccolo, on the other hand, would jump in power, and I believe a decent amount, even surpassing Krillin, I'd say. And I still know that we haven't covered any Yamcha and Tien, but I swear it's coming. That being said, guys, we'll see what happens when Bardock and the others arrive, what they'll do with the Dragon Balls, because we know they're going to find him to wish back the gang. That being said, guys, it's going to be part 2 of What If Bardock Never Returned. If you like this What If, make sure you hit that like button. Like part 1, no particular like goal, just show it some love. Comment below, follow Dragon Star Productions on Twitter, and join mine and What If Universe's coexisting Discord. Links both in the description below. That being said, Frieza, get the hell on with the intro. I've talked too long in this video.
I am Lord Frieza, Emperor of the Universe, and I advise you to like this video and subscribe to Dragon Star Productions, or you'll force me to use 100% of my power. Oh, ho, ho, ho. But that won't be necessary because you've already hit the bell for all alerts and notifications. Ho, 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 ho.